Derby. Okay.
Yeah, you betcha.
So I think if you're okay with it, maybe you go and do the introduction a little.
Yep.
Because this is probably my
Yeah, that's fine.
first time in a long, long time
Yeah.
together. So I then just pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we having
Well,
any qualifying, or are they
yeah.
just lining up straight
I'm
away?
gonna I'm gonna go down and I'm just gonna get them set up here. So
Okay.
I'll be right back up and I'll share it.
You asked about.
Hey guys, are you guys ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
Sure.
Yep,
Okay. So,
I'm ready to go off the edge.
yeah. Okay, everybody reset to the start.
I got you. I just fell off the cliff really quick.
Yeah. So we'll get everybody to come to a full stop and head to the start finish. So double reset. Nice, nice one, Mark. Okay, so everybody gets spread out a little bit, and then I'm gonna have Actus count us down from 20 because I gotta go up and start the stream. Our remote Earl is having issues for Zabby, so
Okay.
But we're doing like run out of time, right?
I know everybody's gonna start at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It is gonna
I
be
think
a
everybody
brawl.
just kind of,
Yeah.
like grid up.
Yeah, there's some
Is there-
people
is there
that
contact?
are in each other,
There is
so
contact, yeah.
Oh, there is. Oh no.
Alright, everybody unstack.
Oh, am I on someone?
Lock wheels.
yeah, everybody kind of starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright, once we're all unstacked, we can hold hands together and then go down.
Yeah, and then I'll have you guys start from 20 back. So, welcome to the first annual downhill derby.
Sorry.
So,
That was a bit more violent than I thought it would be.
I'm gonna talk to iRacing and try to get them to do an actual race session on these bad boys because this is lame that they only have practice sessions. But we're gonna make it work.
Okay, so what did you want me to do here?
Okay, so I'm gonna have you just count everybody down. I'm going to do far chase on you there. Okay. Gonna do chopper view. Okay. And just count down from 10. I'm gonna go on the other one and just call the start
All right.
because I can't be in two places at once right now. So
Is it on one
Okay.
go or go? Like how are we doing it?
say, how do you guys want to do it?
On go.
On
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll say like a one
Yeah.
go.
And then I
So-
guess Axis has a micro delay or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
all pretty fun anyway. So, okay, heading up and let's see how this goes, boys.
All
Good
right.
luck. Yeah.
And it's first gear only.
First gear up to the yellow sign and then back down to neutral.
Yep.
Okay. And then if
Alright.
anybody needs like a little assist, if they're like in a ditch, like get yourself out. Otherwise, go to your reset point. Once you're at a reset point, don't start all the way back at the beginning. You can start at your reset point and you get all the way down. When you guys all finish, somebody just come up and get me and we'll do another round and we'll just see who wins the most.
All right.
Okay,
Sounds good.
cool. Talk to you guys soon. Good luck. Okay, we're starting her up.
Okay. Okay. So we're straight having a race session?
Yep,
Like
go
no
ahead.
qualifying. Okay.
Once it ends, Axis will get me.
Okay. I'm going or you're going?
You.
Okay, and there we go, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sim Racing Nation. We are all going here at Downhill Derby as drivers getting ready to get going and get racing, of course. It's going to be 40 minutes of somewhat racing for these guys. It's 5 of them out on the track. Sure, they're all might be going downhill, but all of them would be going amazingly. It's myself, Zabby here, Zabby on your mics, and we've got Alan alongside us to give us a company and take through this journey of the drivers racing around here.
Yeah,
How
away
are
they
you
go
doing?
right now. They're heading down the hill, and it looks like we're off to a great start here.
That was absolutely a great start. The bottom two, they make contact already. They were almost going side by side, of course, with a road as narrow as this one. They could not go side by side, and they touch each other. And I think if they keep doing this scrape side by side once again, they could try wheel-to-wheel racing, of course, in this Formula E car. But that is not a easy to control car, and I think just a little snap of oversteer, understeer could well see you slip up, and you could be moving down the hill the wrong way, of course. This is gonna get it on there still. They're get it. Could you get a better camera out there? Let's see. Okay, there we go. We are changing a little bit of views. Meanwhile, we are with Aaron, driver in second place at the moment, having a look as well, which we could see. We've of course got 6 of them. In fact, I said 5, but we have 6. Gonna be Mark, James, Aaron, Nathan, Matthew, and Axis all really on to it. And they sure would be. I mean, this is going to be almost a damn focused race. Some of the races we have in open wheel racing, most of them even on street races where they say walls are too close, but this is a circuit that there are no walls on, and you're still straight going to go down the hill if you are mismanaging it. So how much focus they are having to be doing here, Alan?
Oh, looks like they're all having some side-by-side action here. Some pretty crazy racing. We're just getting down into the dirt. Oh, and we got a spin.
Oh, there goes one. We got a spin in there, and he goes into the trees out there. Very lucky for both of them. The other car on the outside. And is there a bump out there on the outside? Yep, that is somebody going down. I think there was some kind of a rock or somewhat and on the side of it, and they got hit on their rear right, and that saw them go down and spinning around. Okay, we're having a look at these guys going wheel to wheel, going around the yellow and the red car. At the back of it, they're still wheel to wheel, side by side on the gravel part of the circuit. Meanwhile, the one ahead is still going at an Axis, and there we go. That is crazy. Nathan, Floyd, and Axis, both of them side by side, still going around. Nathan seems to be ahead, still a car, almost half a car ahead at this moment in time. They might just come to touch each other. Meanwhile, Axis tried to save up from him, and both of them are going to have a spin, and one spins, the other saves it. He might go back as he was trying to reverse it there, and both of them very, very lucky to lose it out, and that was very lucky then for Matthew to get past him and not make contact. There we go. They finally would be feeling a little bit better. They got a better road now. There was a slow car going ahead as Nathan still follows it by. He goes very smoothly at this moment in time. Hopefully, we'll be hoping that he does not make another mistake at this moment in time. Staying tight the top 3, of course. P3 out of the 6 drivers. And look at that. He's got somewhat of debris on his helmet visor. We're seeing him from his cockpit view. And they're all going in neutral at this point in time. They don't need to do anything. Just going downhill without any gears. That is some interesting thing to know, that probably going downhill, of course, would be a little bit harder in the gear and just give it speed as much as it takes then. Nathan Floyd at this moment in time still going around on his own, but seems to be in no worry at this point in time. Just between the trees, taking a drive. Meanwhile, Mark, our leader, 7.5 seconds ahead of Aaron in that second place. So almost everyone far away from each other. I mean, sure, we had them get closer to each other for a little bit, but then that didn't quite stay for too long, as everybody is on their own, almost having their mistakes, having their problems, but I think they would just be happy enough to keep it out on track at this moment in time. They're going to do. Meanwhile, once again, we are on with Matthew. What is he going to show us? Meanwhile, Axis is back again. We saw him going wide a little out there and almost saving it just about from going down the hill. And I think, what are the possibilities, Alan, here for these drivers to really, go down the hill? How easy would it be? We saw earlier on some drivers getting closer with each other, having problems, but they just saved it, and just enough time. If they didn't, their race would have been gone.
I'll tell you, it's pretty close racing out there. Looks like Axis is gaining back up on James here. He got a bit more momentum off of one of his restarts there from the checkpoint. He had a bit of an accident earlier there, but he's back to it. Catching James, only a 0.8 second gap between them. This could be some pretty exciting racing. Let's check on board with James here.
Yes, he's getting on James. Oh, yeah, James has got damage from the contact earlier on. Look at his rear left tire. It's bent with the suspension, but he's still going at it. And I think it's not going to do any good to him. And that probably could be one of the reasons why Axis has caught up to him. And the gap now stands to just less than a second. In fact, just half a second now. This could well be a move coming up for Axis. We're losing out the track action between the two. Meanwhile, Axis moves to the outside at this moment in time. Meanwhile, James is trying everything to defend. He might find it hard to just keep it out on track at this moment in time. He goes very wide. Axis is going to get closer. They might make contact. But what a lucky escape for Axis there as he gets through on him and they don't touch up. Meanwhile, James is standard out on the uphill section there on that hill and gets back on the track. But the move that we thought was going to be a fight put up, Axis with that damage, of course, to his wheel, can't do much about it. And that sees him fall back. And now Matthew is catching up to him. Ooh, there was even some noise. There was some noise, and Matthew has lost a lot of seconds. Has he made any contact out there?
Like Matthew just went off the road there, off to the right, and just had a major accident. Oh my gosh!
And that is exactly where we were talking about that this could go wrong. I just heard it in the background noise, the car going wide and hits in the trees, and that is trouble coming up for Matthew, and that is now pretty much going to be his race over. You can't do much about it.
Look at that. Mark crosses the finish line at first.
Mark across that line.
Nice and clean.
Clean drive, and he does it. Okay, is he going to just turn around to maybe do a little bit of a donut of in victory as he comes first? Then it is Aaron now across that line. That is going to be Aaron completing up the top two. We're just waiting on Nathan now as they're doing a round out here. Nathan over 30 seconds behind there. But, oh, this is close. Nathan could well be losing the top three. Axis, after that mistake, is showing some great speed. And that is going to see him get through on Nathan as well. And that will be your new top three. Still far away, though. One wrong move could well see Axis go backwards. But we'll see how he's able to do. He should not be having any problems unless he makes a mistake on his own. There we go. He's driven a very nice race. Meanwhile, Nathan still going at it in P4 as it's the number 3 car. Tried states now the top 3, and look at his right front wheel as well. That is like jumping around in a way that is kind of damaged out there. Sure, there is no suspension, but it's very close again. He hits almost pole on the outside as he just now gets to the finish, and he goes into the back of Axis at the finish.
Oh, what a sight to see. These guys having fun out there tonight.
Just bumps into the back of him, and he was stopped on the track. It reminds me of the incident between Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen. I remember back in the day it was in Formula 1. One of them was waiting at the pit lane at the red light, and the other went into the back of them.
I agree. What do you say we call this session and everybody restarts there? We got Matthew pretty far behind, so I think we could get another good round in here.
Yep, just seeing him if he is even able to finish or not, but we'll see how long does it take him. He had a huge mistake, of course, going down the hill and out of the track, so that sees him fall back so much, about a minute, which is going to be somewhat of a ground to make, unless he doesn't still. He'll have to do some work to not make the similar mistake, but he might just be going a little bit slow now that he hasn't got anybody around him.
Agreed. I'm going to pop down here. I'll be right back.
Okay, just get it going, the restart, and we begin once again.
That's right. Hey, guys. Nice race.
Hey.
That was pretty cool to watch. You guys all want to restart there? I see. Is Matthew in? Yep.
Matt's about 30. Matt's about 30 seconds out.
Cool.
There's one turn if you crash, you reset to the checkpoint, it puts you 50 seconds behind.
Oh, I know. It's brutal. You know what I say to that? do better.
Just keep
I'm just
going.
kidding.
I think
Yeah.
I'm like 2 turns away from the end. I can't. tell.
You're
Yeah, you're pretty close there.
Oh no, I bought this thing like 30 minutes
Yep.
ago.
You guys can all get started. Reset there. I'll let Matthew cross the line, and everybody gets on the grid. Oh, what a... There we go. That works. Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Perfect. We'll get everybody set up, and then I'll restart the
Oh,
broadcast again. We got some pretty good action
wanna-
between James and...
Want to switch up the grid? Like,
I
we'll
mean,
go in reverse order or something?
Yeah, guys, do reverse order if you want. So, Matthew at the front,
Okay.
oh, that means I'm.
Aaron and Mark at the back. Axis came third. Nathan fourth, I believe.
yep.
Okay.
I just got a black flag for some reason.
Okay.
Oh,
let me-
Just reset.
I'll just reset.
Okay,
Yeah.
we do it.
Oh no, it's figured itself out.
It's
Oh,
not
I gotta
letting
go
me
back
move.
So
farther.
we're going. So are we doing 6th place
Is it
starts
allowed to-
first?
Is it clearing it up?
yeah, we're good.
Okay. 6th place. Yes.
'Kay.
So Matthew at the front.
So Matt.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
let me try and get back here.
Yeah, it's fun. This is all live stream still, so.
Can I
It'll
make
have
a?
Poppy chat. Yep.
Can I make a start suggestion?
Yes.
So I find for the start, it's easier just to hit it in first, max it, and then put it in neutral immediately, instead of making it all the way to this yellow sign.
Okay. Yeah, just max
Yeah.
it. Then.
It's faster.
It's actually faster, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
That's what I did at the start. I just
Who's in third place?
Someone should be beside me.
Am I in the right spot now?
Let me try.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're in the right
Yeah.
spot. Yeah, because I believe Axis was 3rd.
Okay, I'm gonna focus on most exciting.
Alright, I'm gonna
Give me
reenact
1
Lance
second
Stroll.
here. Let me get a good camera angle here to start the race.
I got my
Okay,
livery
there we
ready.
go. Blimp
Time
view.
to reenact Stroll.
Time to rinse in extra. Chopper or blimp? Blimp view is pretty sick. Okay, so count it down from... I would say count it down from 20. That'll give Zabby a chance to get in the zone.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Have fun.
will do.
Okay, they're counting it down from 20 right now, so they're starting in like 15 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll let you take this one away yourself this time. I'll just
Okay.
do the camera guy, so ignore me.
Sure. So all around one more time. Drivers starting once again. Of course, James finishing ahead. And not finishing, but at the moment starting. So Mark finished out of everyone. Starts last now or something. We're just having the update of in fact, starts in first place. In fact, he's not starting last. The overlay was a little bit incorrect. These guys are now starting away already. They're just counting down on their own with the session having no settings of its own. But we'll see what they're all going to do. They're just getting downhill, of course. We saw most of the drivers going around, of course, in neutral the whole time of it. They're side by side. They're very, very close. The most close they've been on the previous run. Sure, they were close for a little bit, but they got far away from one or the other by making a few mistakes. Meanwhile, the top two of Mark and Aaron. Oh, as it stands, it shows it's very close between the two, and I think, well, is that going to be the case? But we're seeing Matthew and James maybe at the top, as it shows us in that overlay, as we're just going to get these guys get going to give us a fight a little here at this point in time. It is indeed James and Matthew in that top two places. We're going to have these guys side by side. Meanwhile, Nathan sends it in as well. He seems to be going on the outside line. Meanwhile, the bottom two, Aaron and Mark at this point in time, fighting each other out there as well. This is somewhat racing out there. We've seen between some great racing out there, and I think Nathan might just get in as well. He's got Exis on the inside line. He's got Matthew on the inside line. Exis might touch Nathan once again. They made contact earlier on. This is some great, exciting racing than it was before. And I think the bottom two are once again coming at each other. Aaron and Mark. Mark gets out of Aaron. And now they are very close. Aaron, Mark might just get into the back of Axis there. This is going to be close. Meanwhile, around the outside, they almost make contact one more time. And I think Nathan at this point in time just behind. And what a start he's got. He's away once again. He made a mistake earlier on, but oh, that was very close. Once again, X is on the track, and I think he might have made contact. He might have just went off. We saw, once again, heard a little noise of moving around, and we're just looking at Aaron's car at this point in time, running in 4th place as it stands between these drivers, and I think we'll see what is it all going to be at this moment in time, just seeing these guys drive around. Nathan once again very close to the back of Matthew's car at this point in time. Matthew earlier on had a big incident, wasn't able to do that, and Mark goes on the inside line. They're all going downhill. It takes bravest of them all, Braveheart still racing, and it switches from tarmac to the gravel out there, and that could be getting it very hard for these drivers. Some of them slipping around to take it through, to going it downhill. Oh, that was very close. That was Nathan spinning around a little bit. Did he have some bump from the car behind? But we'll see what they're all going to be doing. One of them getting slowed down a little. Matthew currently running in that top 3. He's got a car on the outside, and that is going to be none other than Nathan around the outside on Matthew. Matthew on the inside line, and that is going to be a contact made, and one of them, and in fact both of them are going to run off and going to be falling back at the moment in time. So that is Nathan out there. So there was somebody else with Matthew then. We'll see who was it. That might have been X's then. We'll see, because they were going side by side. They just touched each other on, collected. It's very, very hard to judge who's around you and how much space you've left, especially if you're just paying attention on the road ahead, because you cannot move left or right on a circuit, on a track like this, where it's all about going downhill and not worrying about anything else. And that is disaster struck for both of the cars that went wide. Meanwhile, Mark and James are back in, and Mark is getting closer to James. Mark winning that first one. Oh, that is going to be James spinning around a lot, and that is going to see Mark get through. That did not take Mark even any work at all. He just stood there and went through, waited for a spin for James, and that's going to see Mark moving up forward and looking up for another first place finish at this point in time. We're just getting it through. I mean, Nathan now getting very, very close to James as well. James has got the spin, and he could be closer to Nathan. Nathan earlier on finished 3rd, I believe, or 4th in the one before, and he's got a chance now. So the gap to the leader, 5.2 seconds, but the gap between James and Nathan is 0.3, so just 3 tenths gap between the top 2 and 3 positions at this moment in time. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of them, they're all going around. I mean, we had a moment between the drivers previously, and I think at this moment in time, James needs to know, earlier in that first one, he had his rear left tire suspension damage. At this point in time, his wheel was bent, so it was even lucky for him to just get to the end and the finish of it. But with this one, he's got it all. I mean, at this moment in time, staying away from any incidents, staying away from any problems for him. But how long is this going to be? How big is this going to be for all of these drivers? And I think that was very close once again then on the tree on the inside there. That could have been closer once again. Of course, running without any gears, almost going downhill. Of course, you don't need any speed rather than the gears, but slowing your car down. So you just put it in neutral and get going straight away. But at this point in time, the leaders have taken it all. And I think Mark still leads it ahead of James, ahead of Nathan. Then Nathan has fallen behind 7.7 seconds. Has he made a mistake? And okay, my apologies that we are on board with Matthew now. And I wonder if that was James earlier on, or was it Matthew for the longest of time we were looking at. But let's get going. And I think this is all going to be shaping out. At this moment in time, of course, some drivers were closer to each other early on, just like the previous one. At the start, they were closer, but then they fall short a little, and not getting closer to one another at this point in time, of course. Quite far away from each other, but I think we'll see what they're able to do. Mark still ahead, 6.9, almost 7 seconds, but 5.9, 5.7, gaining a little was James there, but Mark at this point in time seems to be in his own comfort and in league. It's almost like everybody's in their own at this point in time because of obviously how far one another is from each other. It's just going about downhill. One does it quicker than the other. So mostly it's the mistakes, it's the problems that they create for themselves, the ones that gets them closer to one another. Because speed, it's almost like who's going to be the bravest? Because if you're brave enough to go into a corner, you could well be. And we have, at this moment in time, one of the car, Aaron out there, was parked at the start of it. Maybe he hasn't even took the start. Yep, he is. Meanwhile, Axis at this point in time just ahead of Aaron and over a minute down on these guys. And so I think that must have been Aaron and Axis then having that problem, because Aaron now 31 seconds behind Axis, and Izzy got moving. He hasn't got moving, so he's staying there. Maybe they both had that incident. He restarted that, but hasn't got beginning, so maybe just not waiting for it to start. Meanwhile, Mark once again leading and ahead of everyone at this point in time. Nobody is gonna get closer to him. He hasn't let anybody get closer to him. At the start, he was not at the front, started at the back of it, winning that first one, and then when he got going, he was the bravest. He was the one to take the risks and send it in. Because we saw James earlier on, obviously send it in ahead of Mark. He was in that lead, but just that mistake, of course, because he just sent it in. I mean, you're just kind of blindly sending in there and not knowing what to expect or what will happen come in the corner ahead, and he just had that spin, of course, and to just keep it out on track is biggest of the achievements here around, and that comes across that line. That's going to be James in second place. Mark makes it already to first and gets himself, and Nathan then comes home to finish third. It should be. I'm seeing his car is the third one to get there, and that is once again Nathan in one of them. So Nathan would be the one third maybe, and that is then Matthew, I believe, getting up there. So Aaron hasn't finished and he hasn't got going. Maybe after that incident he didn't have the motivation enough to do that. I mean, I'm sure he would have wanted to do that. Maybe something wrong.
Oh,
Hey guys. There we go.
okay, I'm back at the top now too, guys.
Yeah, everybody's at the top.
Alright.
That's cool. That was pretty fun up to there. So we got enough time for one more run.
Sweet.
So
I
we're
might
got
need-
10 minutes.
Oh,
So I'll let you guys get set, and then yeah, that'll.
who's
be
the
it.
race at? I think I need to get undisqualified.
Oh yeah, reset and then reset
Yeah.
again.
Oh wow.
that looks chaotic.
Hang on,
Oh, no,
let's
I'm not-
let's go in like one at a time so we can not be piling on each other.
I mean, like, I'm disqualified. I can't
Who?
spawn in.
Matthew?
Matthew.
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, once you're in, just move off the start line.
Okay.
Black flag, clear penalties. Who's Matthew? Matthew.
Yep.
Wait. Oh my god. Okay, entries. Matthew. What happened to your black flag there? There you go. Can you join?
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, no problem. Everybody else is good?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay, cool.
So,
Can we just stay here?
Okay, everybody get lined up. Got, yeah, first one down basically wins. So let me just do quick blimp. I'll do chop review this time and countdown from 15.
all
Good
right.
luck. Okay, they're counting down right now for the last one.
Okay, this is the
So
final
as
one.
soon as they start moving, they're going. Yep.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Getting the screen load up, but there we go. We are now at it, and this is going to be the last and final run before we end the session in this great community night here at Sim Racing Nation. So let's have fun and get it going. It's going to be Axis and Aaron, the ones starting in last. In that first place, of course, maybe finishing last at this point the previous run, so that gets to have them a proper first start at this point in time. We're having a look at, and I think Axis is going up ahead. 3 cars just behind each other, and it's going to be Mark right behind everyone, but we saw him in those first 2 runs. He finished ahead of everyone, so nobody's slowing him down. He's got no worries to worry about. Meanwhile, Axis currently leads and goes into the lead safely so far. Mark goes on the outside and overtakes James, gets himself, and James going to have a huge incident. He might find it very hard to get back out in a second. And Mark's moving another position. He's moving rapidly once again, not leaving anybody. He's leaving everybody behind at this point in time. He's got 3 cars to clear up, but he might be well doing that in no time. But will he? Because Nathan's closer to him, and now Matthew and Aaron are very closer as well. Matthew went on the inside line, and just ahead of Aaron, overtakes him, and now does Mark as well. And that is going to be somewhat positions gained. And Nathan now moves around the outside, tries to overtake Nathan, but that doesn't quite happen. But Mark now has an incident. Mark, he who was winning the first 2 runs, has an incident, and that's going to see him fall back. This will be interesting to see if he's able to recover back to the top or not, because this is going to test his times. This is going to test his speed here at this race. Meanwhile, Nathan just behind Aaron at this point in time. Just around him he's going. Nathan's going to try and overtake, try and make a move. Meanwhile, we've seen Matthew and Exis ahead, I believe. They're going closer to each other as well. This is the closest they've been. Every time it gets closer, but towards the end, they fall short because they're making mistakes. Meanwhile, Mark has been the one. James has been the one as well, making a mistake earlier on, not being able to hold on to it. But let's see how this is going to be going. Now this is going to be a move coming up for Nathan then, because Aaron is on the inside. He's going to try and defend, but he's not going to be able to do that probably. But he will be. He just gets going. And Nathan then slows very much down because this switch from a tarmac and the gravel might just be very hard than it looks. And Nathan just slowed down and didn't want to spin at that point in time. And look how they're struggling at this point in time here in this part of the track with X is in first place at this point in time. He leads it ahead of everyone, just ahead of Matthew out there. And I think we're seeing 5 cars, so there should be one out ahead of everyone, all behind. But we are looking at Nathan one more time. So Mark looks like he's ahead of Aaron and James. Aaron might have had a problem and got Mark catch up to him. We'll see what that is going to be going up. And that now converts back into a proper road that, of course, isn't the best of it. These cars are just going to hang around there. And Matthew might just be in somewhat pressure from Nathan behind. I think he's going to be putting out a lot of it on Access as well. Who is it going to be keeping it out on track? Because whoever keeps it out on track, holds their nerves, will be the one coming up ahead. But we'll see. Will it be Nathan, Matthew able to do that? Or will it be Access to keep it up? Matthew might goes very, very wide a little, but can't quite do it. They're going at it, both sliding around, and Nathan now catching up to these guys as well. The 2-way fight might just become a 3-way fight now. There's not many opportunities to overtake, because of the times we've seen cars go side by side, they make contact, they just can end up touching each other. There's not enough space, but this time around, we're going to see around, I think one of them could well be trying for an overtake, because in such speed and neutral gears, if you're even trying to brake the give it a little bit of brake, press the little brake pedal, you might just end up spinning as well, because braking the momentum on such a track could well be very hard. But I think we'll see. Will Matthew be able to find a way? Because X is at this point in time doing some great defending and not letting him pass. Matthew's not taking any risk as well. He just wants to keep the second place if he can at this point in time. Meanwhile, Nathan is behind them, but he's not doing much as well. He's just staying behind and just do what he can for staying in that third place. But I think we're waiting for that move here, waiting for this move from Matthew on Axis. But how long is it going to be? Is Axis going to be able to hold him off? Is Matthew going to be able to make that move? This is some close racing. Meanwhile, the 68 car comes very, very close to the 96 car of Axis. They're all in it. One in the purple-white livery, the other in the black-yellow livery. Both of them going at it. Have we had Axis spin? Okay, we have not, because a little bit of a rubber sound of the tires sliding a little we saw from one of the cars. Thought maybe, but it was an incident, and that is very, very close between Matthew and Axis. Matthew's going to send it on the inside line, and he's also going to send both of them out of the track, and that's going to be Matthew in the wall and get back to an incident restart, and that's going to be Matthew have to do it again, and that is exactly what happened. We said that one mistake could well, so one try and send one when there is no space. I think this was one of the worst places that he could have done but I think he knew that it was now or never, and just see how it goes. That couldn't quite go to plan. But one man who would be happy about this is going to be Nathan at this point in time. Sure, Mark is over just about 16 seconds behind him. Maybe Mark is able to closer catch up to him if Nathan has a bit of a problem or a mistake he makes, but I think Axis and Matthew just putting each other in the wall once again. And Nathan stays down. So that is exactly what he had to do. He didn't attack the top two. He let them fight. He stayed behind those. And didn't try and go in there because had he been in there, he might have had a problem. He might have been involved as well. So he just stayed behind. And when he just saw both of them having their incident and went through the two drivers who made their mistakes and move himself up the order. And that is going to see, and look at that, they're still in neutral. All about everybody in neutral gear, just letting the car how it goes. Maybe controlling the brake pedal if they need to. But Axis at this moment in time, he might have been able to recover a little bit better than Matthew did. Matthew was having damage as well, I believe. He went in the wall, but Axis out there did pretty good job, maybe to keep him out of any problems. He made a little bit of a contact, but just was on that uphill side, so that wasn't a problem for him. He just continued on from there, and he still is in the fourth place, so that's a good fight for him, maybe. But we'll see what he's able to do, because he's got 7.5 seconds, but that's not going to mean anything, as earlier on he didn't go down. This time he's going to do it on his own. Can't quite control it, and that's going to see him fall short. One of the trees saves him there, but that's not going to be too long. And I think James now, who was closer to Axis, could well be potting up, but James could have had his own issues as well, maybe. And that's going to be Axis back to the front. Maybe he's just restarted, and that's going to see him get back to that strat line. And we are getting that checkered flag waved up. That's going to be Nathan coming up ahead of everyone then, and be the first one to cross that line. Waited 2 cars ahead of him to make mistakes, go off, and that's going to see him win the final run here at Downhill Derby. And just his Mark is actually going to go downhill, hit the barriers, and come up in second place at this point in time. That's going to see him finish second. He finished first in the first 2 ones, and is going to finish second in this one. What about Aaron now? Aaron's going to do it all, so Axis, it shows he's at the top of the field, but he would be at the start, and so that's going to be Aaron coming around and finishing in third place. Does a very, very good job as well. Then it's James. He's far off. He's going very, very slow at this point in time. He's getting closer to the end now, but let's see. What are they going to be doing? Because this was a good one. This was, I think, the best of the 3 runs we've had. Sure, all were best in their own, but this was a little bit closer racing, closer wheel-to-wheel racing around. Hope you all watching enjoyed it. We will be on your screens every time on Sim Racing Nation for the community nights that we can be. I think it's going to be nothing short of some entertainment we saw this time around. This was a downhill track, of course, but maybe the ones that are going to be Grand Prix tracks would be somewhat even more better.
Right to the end.
And I think this is all going to be at it. We'll see what everybody and what we can do around here as well. So hope you all watching enjoyed it. This was Somewhat Racing, drivers having their run still going around, of course, since it's a practice session, but we are just waiting now on James to finish the final and last one, and that is going to conclude the session. He falls hard, he goes down, jumping on his own, but
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Positive camber. That's what the cool guys run.
That was hilarious. Oh, we got some good action there.
Go for the flag guy. Oh.
We got an awesome run there. I got a good hang on the camera control there with the last run because you guys stayed nice and close together. So
Yeah, until I got spooked and jumped off the cliff.
No, you were running some real high downforce there. But yeah, we got time for one more quick run if you guys want to try to make it to the bottom.
What do you? Can we?
We
Yeah,
can't.
no.
We can't reset.
It's
Wait.
over.
It's
Says
over.
check flag.
Oh, it's a timeout. Oh,
It's over for us, but the lobby probably will let you
right.
finish your run, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well,
you
thanks,
could,
guys.
Oh, it says 553. I got disqualified. That's all for trying to drive into the crowd.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, my wheel's
I'll
gone.